Your girl Helly is back and you've been asking why I didn't post for the last 3 weeks. I'm so sorry guys, but life got in the way. A lot of ups and downs and everything. But finally I'm back with end of the year videos and we'll be starting with the best non-fiction books I read in 2020. By the way, this is my new background. I hope you like it. It doesn't really have as much books as it used to now, but I have really made this a fancy place. I will be going back sometimes to my old bookshelf background too, but this is what you have for now, so keep feasting your eyes on this. I have decided to start with non-fiction books because I think non-fiction books have played the biggest role in my life in 2020. 2020 was a year of stagnancy. A lot of people lost their jobs and livelihoods, and so many people went through so much downs, inclusive of me. But somehow by reading non-fiction books, I have been able to turn this year around for me and make it really work. I've been able to have some good success personally and professionally, and I will talk about it soon in some later video. But I need to accept the fact that a lot of this comes from mindset change and changing who I am as a person, which cannot happen without reading non-fiction books, which help you understand how others think, how thought leaders think, how bosses and entrepreneurs think. So, after watching today's video, I really want you to read these books, not just their summaries, because summaries are good to get a gist, but you won't enjoy a book without proper reading of whatever the stories are and whatever the applications are and implementations are. So without any further ado, let's get started. Note that it's not like all these books have been released in 2020. These are just books I have read in 2020. Some of them are 2020 releases, but my focus is on which books I love the best this year. The first book that I want to start with in non-fiction is Grant Cardone's Be Obsessed or Be Average. Grant Cardone is single-handedly the man I admire the most when it comes to business and work. He's one of those gurus who has actually done what he teaches. Of course, there are many things that are said about him which are not so good to listen to, but I loved how this man teaches you to be obsessed with a dream. And I feel like whenever I read this man or whenever I listen to his voice, I feel so pumped up to work. Whatever I made in income in the year of 2018 to 2019 has almost 5x'd this year, mainly because this man's teachings has helped me so much in focusing on what really matters. If you feel that you get distracted while working on your goals, if you feel that you need success and you're not getting what you really want in life, you need to read Grant Cardone. And yeah, this is gonna be the first recommendation. This book and many other books that I'm recommending today are available on Storytel. A free trial link, since all of you were asking for it, is back, so it'll be right in the description below. So yeah, for a while that link was not working and so many of you spammed me with asking for it, so I have asked them to actually return this for a while, so please make sure you're using it right now. Now the next book I want to recommend, which once again made a huge impact on me this year, was Secrets of Six-Figure Women by Barbara Stanny. Now this book was so good. This was a read that I went through when I was on a readathon, and the readathon video is also up on my channel. I'll link it up here. But guys, this book should be read no matter whether you're a woman or a man. If you want to earn in six figures, and this is $6 by the way, you need to read this book. It is going to change your mindset, your productivity levels, and also give you a lot of new perspectives, which is really important. Another book which was along the same lines I would also recommend to you is called Girl Code, but I would say this book is more for women. So this one is not recommended for the boys who are watching this. I'm sorry you guys. Now, the next book that I want to recommend is this one, and this book was already featured in one of my recommendation videos, but this is called The One Invisible Code by Sharath Sharma. Thanks a lot to the author for sponsoring today's video. Once again, this is right along the lines of the kind of non-fiction books I read. Books that make you successful, books that help you strive towards greatness and discipline, which is, in my opinion, one of the biggest factors in becoming successful. Something that I do find when I read Indian authors in non-fiction is that it does lack uniqueness sometimes, but that's really not the case with this book, although it does touch on a lot of subjects that have been touched on in many other non-fiction books that I have read. So no matter if you have read a lot of non-fiction books or if you haven't, you will find this book very interesting. This book is structured very properly. Sharath Sharma delves into the problems and then, kind of breaks them down and then gives you the solution. Not to mention, this book is very well illustrated. Very well illustrated. if you remember in my last video, I was talking about how the illustrations in this book are one of my favorite things. And another huge factor in this book is that it is very well researched. It quotes from famous people all the time and famous events all the time. So if you are reading this book, I'm pretty sure that you are going to evolve yourself a lot as a person, because it's not just one person's thoughts, but rather an amassment, if that's the right word, of some of the greatest people of all time, and yeah, some of my favorite people of all time as well. So yeah, you should definitely grab this book. The link to this book and all other books that I'm recommending will be right there in my description. So yeah, do grab it if you want to, and I'll put it right back in my bookshelf. Now, the next book that I'll recommend from this year was The Rudest Book Ever by Shweta Gangwar. I've already made a couple of videos on this book as well on my channel, so you are free to check it out. So let me know if you have seen them already. And I don't think this book needs any new introduction. It is definitely a rude book, but it's not that rude as Shweta's videos. Once again, this book kind of jerks you out of your current mindset. And in case you have mental blocks and things that are preventing you from being successful or from living towards your full potential, this is the book that you should go for. Now, I think I've talked a lot about books that will help you be successful and reach your full potential. Let's come to a little different books. Now, one of the most different books that I read this year was hands down this book called How Not to Die. It was all about nutrition and how we are putting all the wrong kinds of things in our body, and how to eat things and what are the things that you should eat in order to stay healthy and lively in your life. Basically, it talks about all the things that you need to know and the things that you should have been taught in your school in biology, but you weren't. How Not to Die is a recommendation from my side in case you want to live a life which is more fulfilling and a life where you are more healthy, because health bills really add up. The next book that I would recommend is How to Lead in a World Full of Distraction. This was the last book I read this year when I was on the metro, and it was so lovely to listen to this book, because on the metro, everyone is looking for a distraction. No one is looking around. Everyone is busy with their phone. And this is really important because the gadgets that we use are actually using us now. If you've not watched Social Dilemma yet, I really feel that you should, because that is going to give you so much context to this. But this book has really helped me a lot in being more mindful of the world around me, the people around me, and not being so busy with my phone that I forget to live life. Another book that I will highly recommend is 5 Choices. This is a very good productivity book. Once again, this is the same book I read in the video that I did a readathon on, where the first book that I was recommending, Secrets of Six-Figure Women, was also featured. Loved this book. It was really good. Next, I've read a couple of books this year which were on making checklists. So the basic book would be something like the checklist book, but there are more books than this on that. And basically, it really made me think why checklists are so important. And I've been making more checklists than ever. Basically, checklists will help you in staying organized. When you have a checklist, it is just something that you take off your brain, and your brain really does not have to compete with so much information anymore, which automatically means that you will have better results. This book and this process has very actionable tips which are going to be very helpful for you. I would like to end this video with recommendations from Bell Hooks. This lovely writer has written some great books about love, men, masculinity, patriarchy, and feminism. And if you read her book, there's no way that you're not gonna like it, because they speak to literally everyone. I remember I read her essay on patriarchy, which was like two or three pages when I was in first year, and I loved it so much. I forwarded it to everyone. I even recommended it in one of my videos, and if you're an early subscriber, you probably remember that. But I absolutely fell in love with Bell Hooks when I read it for the first time. When I read her entire body of work, it just made me think more. My thoughts have evolved so much more. I've made a couple of videos just on Bell Hooks teachings, by the way. I'll link them up here once again. But these are basically the best non-fiction books I've read this year. In case you want to know about the medium level books and the bad books of non-fiction as well, you can follow me on my Goodreads. The link is in the description below in case you want to follow me there. Once again, I hope that these recommendations help you in choosing some great reads for yourself for 2021. I'll be back with another video next week. By the way, there's a quick update that I really want to give you. this year, towards the end of the year, I'll be posting not one, not two, but actually 3 videos. So I'm really hoping that you are subscribed to my channel, because I want you to get notified. I have some great plans, and I hope that you like the recommendations I have for you in today's video. The links to all these books will be in the description below, and I'll be back with another video next week. Thank you so much for staying right here for me as I took a little bit of a break from YouTube, and I'll be more consistent in uploading. And yeah, I'll see you soon, and I'll be chatting with you in the comments. So leave a comment if you've finished watching this video, and I'll see you with another video next week. Till then, bye bye.